Hey guys, welcome back to my video. I'm not going to do my full intro because this is a live that Karlissa had, and she went live with a fan, and the fan was trying to tell her basically to have like a forgiving heart against Chrisean, and was telling her that she had similar situation with her kid and her kid spouse, and they end up getting married. And so Karlissa still blames everything on Chrisean, and she's blaming Chrisean for having Blueface being in jail and taking him away from the other kids. And she doesn't like that Chrisean is always making threats when she know Blueface is never going to do right by her when he come home. So just please hit the like button on your way in or out, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. And here's the video.
In any way, shape, or form be exposed to this person. And if you can't expose your children to your mate, that cannot be your mate, because that will limit the time that he spends with his children that are already here. And that's where I'm at with it.
I, I
So it
agree.
would be totally
I
different if we was
totally
talking
agree.
about just trying to keep working on Jaden and just, the biological kids that he was with. But when you start talking about putting other kids with other people that's saying the type of stuff, could you imagine Javon hearing her get mad one day and say that he want to have sex with her baby in the butt? What would that do? What would
Yeah,
that do to
I
Javon if
totally
he heard
agree.
somebody say that about his dad? So sometimes you can't, sometimes you gotta
I
know
totally
that
agree.
some stuff just ain't gonna be okay. And I'm glad that worked out for you and
Right.
you and your son and your family, but you probably wasn't dealing with no stepkids neither. Am I correct?
Right. Well, I have in my own marriage, I have. And again, we had to go through a trial and error period, before we got to where we are today. But it was much younger years. But I did. My husband had a
No,
son.
I'm talking about
And we
I'm talking
did. We
about
had
your
to go through
son
some
and
growing.
his wife now. They don't have no other
Oh, no, no,
kids
no.
that had to go
Right.
through it with them,
No,
right?
they don't. Right.
Yeah,
Right. You're
that's
right.
gonna
They
be a
don't
little
have
bit
any
too
other
much for
children.
Javon and Journey to endure. This we talking about
Yeah.
somebody who just wished ill
But they,
will on their
yeah.
father publicly yesterday, day before yesterday, whatever day it was, recently. You know what I'm saying? So some people you could just be like, okay,
Yeah.
she gonna grow out of it, but some people is just the trauma and the hurt and the pain and the betrayal of not having your mother and your father to care for you at any point in your life is just, you got to go through a special type of healing process to even be able to entertain someone else. That's a lot of work personally you
Yeah.
have to do on
It
yourself
is.
before you start trying to bring in somebody else's kids.
Right. And I pray for her too, because I really do like her. But like you say, she's had so much trauma and she's so young. So she can't even begin to understand where life is going to take her to, through, from all of that. So I'm
No, the last
praying
time I seen her,
that she,
I'm telling you, I
along
was
the
open and
way.
I tried my hardest. I promise you, against all my will and all my spirit, I did. I tried to, and I felt bad too because some of the stuff that she had went through, I just learned about. So you know what I'm saying? I was really just trying
Yeah.
for the sake of the baby, just trying to be like the backup person. So if she got frustrated, because same thing with Jaden, she ain't my favorite person, but I could tell when she was getting frustrated. I just want to be there so that y'all don't have to be telling my kids to be quiet, get out my face. You know how parents do when they don't feel like being bothered.
Right.
So
Yes. Yes.
that's the only reason
Yes.
that I
Absolutely.
even involve myself or give a fuck at all, if that makes sense. Because really, honestly, I just
Yeah.
want to be the cushion
I
for the
it
kids
makes
to feel like they
yeah.
have a place to go to when the parents get
Yeah.
tired and overwhelmed.
Yes. And I understand that. And I do think Chrisean will get there. I know you love Junior, even when you're mad and you're upset for what she said last week. I know you love him. I know you love him. We can see it. And he deserves you. All the children deserve to have the love from grandparents, aunts, uncles. You can never have too much love and support. So it's not about the adults in the situation. They need to take themselves out of the situation and stop being selfish and worry about the children, because that's who it's going to affect in the long run. These kids deserve both sides of their family, no matter what Chrisean and Blue go through, no matter what Jaden and Blue go through, or whomever. They deserve all the love and the family support that they can get. I will say one more thing, Miss Karlissa. If you can just open your heart, I know it's hard, but I'm gonna tell you what I feel last week. Chrisean was definitely wrong for saying what she said. I just don't think she meant it in that way. She did come back and try to clear it up and said, I'm not wishing death on her. I mean it in a sense of just go away. Like, if you don't mean me any good or you feel that way, just die. And she shouldn't have said it. It definitely was the wrong choice of words. But she did say, I don't mean die in a literal form. She means it more like just go away. And I'm not
I think you
justifying what
are
she said, but she
justifying
did
it. I think
try
if it was
to
one of
clear,
your kids that
she
somebody,
did
I
try to
think if it
clear it
was
up.
one of
Miss
your kids that
Carlissa.
somebody was wishing that on, you wouldn't feel so connected to accepting such
Probably.
things. But that's understandable. I
Yeah.
mean, I would still try to ask you to forgive somebody. Also, because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I forgive her. I don't hold nothing against her. But today she said she was gonna cut my son's penis off if he didn't treat her right when he came home. So just the things that's in her spirit and in her thought process to me don't sound like anything I want to ever be near. You know, that was
Yeah.
today. So
I just
that's
think
something
they take this
and you know, I
whole,
got to keep
yeah,
thinking about this until he get home and asking God to figure out how to separate this before he come home. Cause I know he ain't ready. I'm his mama. I know. So now I got to worry
yeah,
about some weird ass lady
yeah,
talking about she gonna do something to him if he don't act right, and she know he ain't finna act right. So if you know that, why would
yeah.
you even
I
use your
agree.
tongue
I
to
just,
put that energy into the world instead of just saying I'm gonna go and raise my child like most of us do, and 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 go my way? But already
yeah, she'll
planning
get
to
there.
do domestic violence, and he ain't even he trying to process his own thoughts at this point in his life right now. He is behind bars where I told him she was gonna put him. Okay, and now we planning
Yeah.
on a domestic violence before he even get out. That's what you want for my child?
Yeah, I don't think, yeah, I heard it, and I don't think, like I said, they take this internet thing too far. They say stupid things, and it's just silly. I don't think, of course, she would literally do that, but why even put that out? I do understand where you're coming from. Why
Why
even
would your
say that? Why
spirit
even
even
speak on
think
those
like that?
type of
I've
things?
never thought like that. What would make you think to
Yes.
say something like that? Now, mind you, you don't got to worry about it because it's not your child. But for the next however long God got him sitting there, I literally have to pray this spirit away and off of my child because I know he's not ready to sit there and be bothered with somebody like her. He can't intellectually grow with her. He can't even figure out who he is or where he should be in his own life, steady trying to run around helping other people with theirs. He needs help with his own self at this point. He can't keep running around helping everybody with their life and getting himself into situations. He's going to have to take some time to himself. And if somebody is
I
already
agree.
planning to do harm to you or create a domestic violence and you in there for physical problems, that is going to immediately be a problem for him on day one. So I'm gonna ask you,
Hmm.
is that what you would want for your child? So
Not at
I
all.
mean, I can
Not at
pray for
all.
Junior and I can
We
pray that
could.
he is, safe and in a good situation. But at the end of the day, Jonathan is my child. I brought Jonathan into this world. I'm responsible for Jonathan. And as you know, whether they grown or
Yeah,
not, we still feel some type of way until he get a wife, which I
absolutely.
can't wait, because then I could tell the Lord she responsible now, right? But until he get a wife,
Absolutely.
I have to sit here with this pain in my heart that my child is sitting in a jail cell somewhere where I told him she was gonna put him. And he did not listen or take heed to nothing that I said. And he don't never act like that. Now this same person that we sitting on this phone talking about what she gonna do as far as violence if he don't come home and act like he love her.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that, that part. I really can't. Um, so yeah, but thank you for
I
bringing me up, Miss
And I
Carlissa.
appreciate you
I
because
love
you
you so
definitely
much.
still reminded me that it's still, it's still a job, regardless, whether he minds or hers or whoever, that her child is still, I still have a responsibility, and not to let my heart grow
Right,
cold or hard towards him because of the mother.
right. That's right. Because I'm telling you, when I look at that baby and I see pictures, all I see is you. And I know we don't, know y'all, but it's just so emotional to watch, to see the heartbreak and to know that this child looks just like you. I see y'all. I see him. I see Blue, you, Blue. I see all of y'all into one when you look at him. And it's just not fair to him. It's just not fair to him, to the
I mean, it
baby.
ain't fair to none of his babies. His babies have been through a lot. Like, my other
Yeah,
grandkids have not experienced any of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot to unpack for all of the grandbabies. Like, I've been with Javon. I know what all of this mess
yeah,
has caused. And I just, planning to do domestic violence is not just because he come home and he don't act right, is like no consideration to his other kids or her kid. Now her kid is going to grow up and not even know who the
yeah,
dad is until, by next month, his other kids was already calling for him. Dad, you know what I'm saying? Now her son ain't going to get to do that at all.
yeah.
And we already
Mm-hmm.
talking about another domestic
I agree.
violence before he come home. Now it's a such thing as y'all waking up and telling her that this stuff ain't right to even say at some point. It's terrifying.
Yeah, as a mother, I have to agree with you. As a mother, I do. I can't take that away from you because I would feel the same exact way. And like you said, I just would try to push past it. I know I know your heart is hurting. I think about the children. And like you said, it's not just Junior, it's Javon and Journey too. They're used to seeing their dad, when it's just tough. It's just tough all the way around when you have to split the household. Somebody's going to be shorted. Um, so I pray for the children,
Yeah, because at this point,
and I
like
pray
you
for
said, the
the
adults is old enough to know that they shouldn't already be planning to do domestic violence when it's already three babies yearning for their father right now. And this same person can only think about him
right.
being with her, and fuck the kids. Like, at some point, we all have to say, like, it's more than just Junior. It's other kids that's missing their dad right now. And if you planning on just keep putting their dads
Yeah,
back in there,
absolutely.
like, her baby is still young. He's still developing and he's still young. Journey and Javon right now on the third day, already they're looking around for my son. On that third day,
Yeah,
they're starting to be
your dad.
affected.
Yes.
That trauma
Yeah.
that's on her is getting on them. This is just turning into a never ending nightmare. And to hear somebody say this what they gonna do, not even realizing that these kids is waking up looking for their dad right now. Journey is at the age right now where I'm sure she is twisting around trying to see what time is he coming. And
Mm-hmm.
Javon already turns into, a big mush ball, and irritated, and you can see his trauma when John is gone past a week. And we already talking about
Mm-hmm.
another domestic violence, and he ain't even home, knowing he ain't ready to act right. Ain't no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. I know. I agree, Miss Carlissa. Like I said, I just pray for everyone. Like I said, we've all, experienced situations related to something like this before. And, like I said, when I went through some things, I know it was tough, but my family did push through and we got past it. And we're a loving family now, even if we have to agree to disagree sometimes. Um, everybody, we're just a loving family. So I know it may take some time to
Yeah,
get there.
I admit
So
too.
I
Like
pray. I
my
pray that
other
you
son's
guys.
wife, we done had. I mean, it's been this last year has been like rough all across the board, but we all of us, all of the rest of us are still back mending things and working on things. My son's wife, my other son, we
Yeah,
all working on it every day. So it's not like we not trying.
right.
And I hear a lot of people
Yep.
saying,
You guys are just
he's responsible for his own actions. Yes, he absolutely is, but that does not change what the Bible says. Bad company corrupts good character, and if God says so, who are we?
yep. Yeah.
If he
I cannot
already
disagree.
said,
I
if you
cannot
with
disagree.
somebody that don't know how to act, it's going to corrupt you. What are you talking about? How he was raised, or he responsible for his actions? Yes, he very much is, and that's why he's the one sitting there. But while he's sitting there, someone is plotting and planning to cause another distraction or another destruction in his life. While he's sitting there trying to do his time and own up to his own accountability, turned himself in when other people running around illegally, not turning themselves in. He done turned himself in and sitting there, and other people was out here planning destruction based on his character when he come home.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I wish they, both would just get it together, because the reality of it is, if anybody who follows it, Blue really loves Chrisean. He really loves her. So to see them mess up their lives or just go through this, or him sitting in jail, her, doing these crazy lives and stuff like that, when she goes live and says these crazy things, um, it's just